Hello everybody, this is Muhammad Imran. In my previous lecture, I introduced subject-verb agreement. So that was part first of this lecture. Today, we will proceed from there where we left. So the focus of today's lecture is to discuss rules of subject-verb agreement. Let's begin our today's lecture. The general rules. The verb agrees with its subject in number and person. By number we mean a singular subject or plural subject. If the subject is singular, it will take a singular verb. And if the subject is plural, it will take a plural verb. Similarly, the verb also varies according to person. First person, second person and third person. The agreement applies whenever the verb displays distinction in person and number. So we will have a different verb if we have a different person and if we have a different number. Now for all verbs other than be. Be verb is MR, was, were and has and have. So for all verbs other than be, the distinction are found only in the present tense, not in other tenses, right? So where the third person singular has the S form and the third person plural like the first and the second person has the base form. For example, the noise distract them. You can see here that the noise is a singular subject according to the number. And the noises distract them. So the noises is a plural subject, that's why it's taking a plural verb, distract, right? So the verb, it depends on the subject, the number and the person. So here we have not person, here we have number. The noise distracts them is a singular verb. And the noises distract them is a plural verb according to the number of the subject. This table illustrates how the verb agrees with the subject. Let's discuss. The verb be makes further distinctions in the present and introduces distinctions in the past. These are as follows. Present tense, singular and plural. If we have present tense and first person, so the verb will be am. I am a teacher. And if we are using second person, in the present tense, we will use are. You are a teacher. And also if we have second person plural, so the verb will be are. You are teachers. Right? And in the present tense, if we have third person, like he, she, so the verb will be is. We will say Leila is a teacher or Ahmad is a teacher. She's a teacher or he is a teacher. Right? So this was about present. Let's talk about past tense now. If we have first person, so the verb will be singular. I was a teacher. And with second person, if the second person is singular or plural, the verb will be plural. You were a teacher and you were teachers. Similarly, with third person like he and she, we use a singular verb. She was a teacher and he was a teacher. Leila was a teacher and Ahmad was a teacher, right? The rules I explained on previous slide, here we have some example. The noise is distracting them. So here we have a singular subject noise. That's why a singular verb is used here. The noise is, not the noise are. Right? Similarly, that the noises are distracting them. Here we have the noises, which is a plural subject. We know according to the number, right? So here we have not one number, but more than one number, noises. That's why a plural verb are is used here, right? The third example is the noise was distracting them. It's a past tense. Be past. Again, noise is a singular subject. That's why was is used here. And the example of the plural past, the noises were distracting them. you can see noises, more than one noise. That's why the plural verb were is used here, which is the past form of be. The agreement affects the first verb in the verb phrase. Sometimes we have two verbs in a sentence. One is auxiliary and one is man verb. So the first verb, that is auxiliary, that auxiliary verb will be affected by the number or person used in the subject. And if we have one verb in a sentence, then that verb will be affected by the number or person used in subject. Whether it is man verb as in or an auxiliary as in. Now modal auxiliary, however, do not make distinction in number or person. We use the same modal auxiliary verb regardless of number or person. Sometimes we have first person, second person, third person, and sometimes we have one subject or more than one subject in number, but we use the same modal auxiliary verb. For example, I say you may go, or she may go, or he may go. Right? So we use the same model. He may go, she may go, you may go. And if there is no model, then we say that you are going and we are going. But he is going and I am going. So if you have one verb, then that verb is affected by the number or person used in the subject. But if we have modal auxiliary verb, so modal auxiliary verb do not have such distinction. We use the same modal auxiliary verb for all number and all person. Now, the noise may distract them. You can see noise is a singular subject, but we don't say distracts, right? We say distract. And we use the same model regardless of singular or plural. The noise may distract them and the noises may distract them. Here we have plural subject and we use the same model and the same verb. If the subject is a noun phrase, the main noun determines the number of phrases. For example, the noise of demonstration is distracting them, and the noise of demonstrators is distracting them. So the noises of the demonstration are distracting them, and the noises of demonstrator are distracting them. So it is a mistake to allow the verb to be influenced by an adjacent noun that is not the main verb. Noun phrases coordinated with and are generally plural, even though the individual noun phrases are singular. For example, the president and the vice president were at the ceremony. So we can see the president, which is a singular subject, and the vice president, which is a singular subject. So these two noun phrases are linked with the help of coordinator and we use here a plural verb, that is were. Now, clauses are generally singular. Clauses are phrases. For example, playing handball relaxes me. So playing handball is a phrase and we use a singular verb, relaxes, here. Now, to make mistakes is only human. We can see here it's a clause, right? To make mistake. And we use here also a singular verb, and that is. Last example we have that he needs a shave is obvious. So here we have a clause, and that is a noun clause, that he needs a shave. And we use here a singular verb, and that is. Right? So thank you so much. It was all about, once again, we talked about the rules of subject-verb agreement. We will have also another lecture on subject-verb agreement. Keep watching and enjoy learning with Muhammad Imran. Thank you so much. Please don't forget to subscribe and like the channel.